Hello, everyone, and welcome to DAO Today podcast. I'm your host, Aleksa Mil, aka Aleksa. DAO Today podcast was specially designed to dive deeper into the DAO universe. DAOs are a novel concept that we've been experimenting with for a while, but we are still unable to fully understand what they are and how they operate. DAOs are here to change the corporate world that we know today, remove its limitations, and bring more freedoms to us involved. But in order for us to get to that point, we need to learn how to build DAOs in a healthy and sustainable manner. We need to understand DAOs for what they are, how they operate, the power of the community, what the challenges of this environment are, and how to navigate them. This podcast is here to do precisely that. So, who am I and how did I get here? I'm a legal professional who built her career in tech startups in operational roles. I started my blockchain journey when I joined the DAO without knowing what the DAO is or how it operates. While I did know some very basics of blockchain and crypto, the concept of decentralization was very new to me. The more I learned about DAOs and decentralization, the more I knew, the more it resonated with me, with who I am and what I stand for. I strongly believe this industry can solve some of the issues of Web 2, and it has the ability to change lives for the better. Decentralization as a concept, as a thought, brings so many freedoms that we are yet to learn. To me, the power of decentralization lies in its accessibility to just about anyone, in the freedom of movement, the financial freedom, the freedom of being valued for who and what you are, what you can do and create, and what skills you bring to the table, rather than being submitted to constraints and prejudice of the centralized world. What can you expect as a listener from the DAO Today podcast? Well, no sugarcoating, no BS, straight to the point and honest talk. My goal is to educate on DAOs and how they operate, discuss their challenges and of the blockchain industry as a whole. Decentralization by default enables more inclusion and diversity, but somehow this environment is still a slave to the traditional world's prejudice and is blind to the potential that diversity brings. DAOs, Decentralized Autonomous Organizations, are blockchain-governed, community-owned organizations made by the people for the people who share the same mission and vision. You will usually hear that the DAO is a smart contract code, but I'm here to tell you that DAOs are a lot more. There are two layers to every DAO: its tech and its community. Community is the key component of just about any DAO, and the code is there to govern that community in an autonomous manner, lessening the need for human involvement and execution, aiding higher transparency and the ability to build trustlessly, but still with trust. For a DAO to be a healthy DAO, it needs tech, a product that solves a real problem, and a supportive community to build and deliver that solution while weathering the industry's storms. Being a novel structure, DAOs are still finding their way and facing many challenges, both on-chain and off-chain. The on-chain challenges are mainly how to build a DAO that is true to its nature without hindering its effectiveness and growth. The on-chain challenges are mainly how to build a DAO that is true to its nature without hindering its effectiveness and growth. The governance, the rules of the behavior of a DAO is a smart contract code that is executed autonomously. But the operations of a DAO, a community-based structure, is human-powered, and the risk of centralization happens exactly there. On the other hand, being in the gray regulatory area for so long, blockchain industry as a whole is experiencing a fair share of legal and compliance challenges with no clear guidance on how to navigate them, how to protect ourselves and our projects, and be on the good side of the law without compromising the ethos that we are building upon. You will have an opportunity to hear from people who have been building in this space for some time, from those that are just getting started, from legal and compliance and other professionals, and many more. If you're new to this environment, This podcast might help and pave your way into this beautiful space. Here, you can ask every curious question you might have on DAOs, what they are and how they operate, how decentralized your DAO really is, and the challenges you're facing. Just drop a comment or a DM. I would love to hear from you. Follow and subscribe to DAO Today podcast not to miss new episodes and updates. I promise this is going to be fun and illuminating and somewhat provoking. Count on that. Yours truly, Aleksa Mil, aka Aleksa. DAO Today is for educational and thought-provoking purposes only, and nothing said by Aleksa or her guests can be construed as legal, business, and/or financial advice. Projects mentioned in the episodes are referred to as examples for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute any sort of endorsement or promotion.